BitBoy Crypto Morning TA. Good morning, everybody. It's July 14th, 2021. My name is Piano Matty B, and this is your morning TA. A brief window into the crypto markets, where the sun's shining, where the wind's blowing, all the humble opinion of this piano. Tootsie dipping. Tootsie dipping. Oh, how Bitcoin loves to tootsie dip. It's dipping its tootsies outside the triangle of self-doubt. Zamboni bringing the 4-hour chart. Now we see Bitcoin straddling the support line of our triangle till it decides, you know what, I'm going to go see what it's like outside. And it dips its tootsie where? That's right. Exactly down to the 23% fib level, just like we talked about yesterday. So after dipping down to 31.5, we see a bounce back, almost a, ooh, too hot in the hot tub. And we should see it come back and test the triangle support line, which we can now call resistance. Ideally, I'd like to see the price action re-enter the triangle and flip resistance back to support, because if it can't, well then historically this is a bearish signal that the selling pressure is still singing its rally cry. Can you feel that? Now, I don't mean the lush intonation of this A minor 7th add 2 or the ASMR qualities of this mic. Can you feel that? Feels like a bottom. I think one of the most important takeaways to TA and the markets in general is that they exist in cycles. What goes up must come down. That which is overbought becomes oversold. That feels like a bottom. You see, bearish TA are lagging snapshots of what has already happened. Bearish sentiment is the rally cry of sellers, but it's the echo of sellers. They've already sold, and now they're preaching the transaction. But the more preaching you hear, the closer we get to the end of the cycle. So nutshelled, I like bearish TA and the preaching and the bragging. It's a real-time signal that the market is oversold and that the start of a new cycle is about to present itself. Now, the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent, sure. Now, I don't know if it's a sick degen inside of me or my secret lust for chaos and resolution, but I get excited when faced with the echoes of bearish sentiment. I mean, if you're not in a leveraged long with impending stop loss, then what's a couple of broken lines of support amongst sick degens? It just makes for a wild ride, an even better story to tell the rest of your life. And like I said before, you will be telling your crypto story for the rest of your life. In a lot of ways, it is or will be the defining moment of your life. And more than that, the defining moment of humanity. Whoa, Piano Matty B. Easy on the hyperbole. It's not hyperbole. I don't even know what that word means, and I'm not exaggerating that claim. All I know is the 4th cup of black coffee is kicking in, and it's treating me real proper-like. Modulation. There was a time when I was fascinated with tsunamis. I would watch hours of footage. I'd actually dream about tsunamis. That part you didn't need to know. It's kind of weird. But the strange thing that happens for a tsunami is that the tide goes out. The water disappears. And everyone's just scratching their head. Where'd the water go? What do we do now? Well, Well, we do know where the water is. It's accumulating in a giant wave that's about to rock your world. And now I'm getting excited about tsunamis again, and I told my therapist I wouldn't talk about tsunamis anymore, and here I am on YouTube talking about tsunamis. But that's what's coming. A tsunami of geish into the crypto markets. A life-changing, course of humanity altering, financial epiphany of epic proportions. And no, it's not the tsunami talking. It's true. It's coming. And even if you bought at 65, you're still front running the tsunami. Now think about that. At 65K, you're still front running that tsunami. So while the echoes of sellers reverberates around the beach, we watch the tide, or in this case volume, recede back into the ocean. Know this, that when the market moves, it wants to take as few people with it as possible. Yeah, that's how it works. And that, my friends, feels like the bottom. It feels like something's about to change. It feels like the bottom. But I mean that in the most grooviest way. It feels like the bottom. It feels like something's about to change. It feels like the bottom. But I mean that in the most grooviest way. It's Wednesday. Sing me out. 3, 4. Perfect.